And how y'all doing today? Today I'm coming to you from a different location today on my session of season talk. And so today I just want to bring you with some New Year's wisdom. You know, sometimes we get caught up in making the New Year's resolutions. We say we're going to go to the gym. We say we cutting people off in the new year. We have strong boundaries in the new year. I'm not doing this in the new year. I'm not tolerating that in the new year. We make all of these new year resolutions. And I guess the question is, how much do we stick to? How much of what we say is what we do? So just to give you a little wisdom, you know, I have this saying that emotions keep you stuck and wisdom allows you to move. I think that if you don't do anything else this year, show up as your authentic, true self. You're not going to heal in a straight path. Those people in front, those people or family or co-workers or whatever, you might not just be able to cut them off this year. What I'm trying to say is that it don't always go according to the way we plan or the way that we wanted it to be. Showing up as your authentic self is staying true to yourself, meaning that if you're noticing that every time you go around this person, I get anxiety, my intuition feels crazy, you know, or I just have a heightened sense of anxiety, you should pay attention. The way that our body is wired, we were wired with something called your sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. And just to keep it basic, you may have heard of your fight or flight. Listen, whenever you go around people and you have a heightened sense of anxiousness or they're not your people, I had to learn that you should be in environments that make you feel safe. Now, for me, sometimes when it came to things like speaking in the public or just doing something crazy out of my comfort zone, yes, it's normal for us to have a little anxiety, but these people that you had in your life for years, like family, friends, etc., if you are experiencing a heightened sense of anxiety or just being uncomfortable, pay attention to that. Self-awareness is important. I also want to add is that we all claim that we're on this healing journey. But one thing that I have noticed, especially all up and down social media, is that we are quick to say, this person moved weird towards me, or, you know, I'm not dealing with fake friends, or, you know, people jealous, etc., etc. What I had to do in my healing journey, and I truly, really hope that this helps whoever you are that stumbles across this video, you have to do a lot of self-examination. And when I, you know, sit with myself in my quiet spaces and I did my self-examination, I had to admit that I didn't always show up as my best self for my friends, even for my family in some areas. I struggled with matching energy. I struggled with, oh, you move like that? Well, I'm going to move like that too. But one thing that I had to learn is that you have to allow people to go through what they need to go through in their life Because a person is not calling you, liking your posts, reposting your posts, sharing your stories, showing up for you when you need them the most of the time, especially in today's time where anxiety is at an all-time high, life is hard, mental health is definitely on the rise. A lot of single women are going through a lot of stress. You have some unhealthy dynamics sometimes in marriages and relationships that can be overwhelming for your friends, and they might just do not know how to balance what they are going through and being there for you. Now, does this mean to excuse what I want to say, purposeful behavior, deliberately doing things to hurt me or make me feel weird or dismiss me, reject me? I'm not talking about those things. As I mentioned before, the patterns are real. Intuitions are real. Most importantly, being true to yourself is real. When you are self-examining yourself, you gotta take a minute and weigh the relationship sometimes. And being real with yourself is, are they going through something, or is it flat out just you treating me weird? Are they showing up for other people, being there for others, but when it comes to me, it's limitations, it's weird, especially when I'm doing the best that I can do to show up. As we're going into 2026, you really have to choose yourself this year. One of the most and choosing yourself is not easy, because choosing yourself makes you become selfish a little. You really have to put your needs before others, and not in a hurtful manner, but meaning, for example, if I have expressed my needs to you, or have had the hard conversations, and you're still moving weird, and you're purposely just keep showing up as if you don't care, you don't value me, or I'm not a priority in no shape, form, or fashion in your life, I guess I have to weigh, has this relationship run its course? Because as we are growing and evolving throughout life, what I had to realize, and to be true of myself, the same dynamic of the relationships that I had back when I was younger, back when we can go clubbing and partying and really didn't have a real sense of, I guess, responsibility, priorities, I don't know, but it has changed over the years. We have to be real and understand is that I'm not the same person that I was 5 years ago. I heard somebody say, you're not even the same person you was maybe 2 hours ago. And so we have to weigh the weight of what we are willing to carry when we are dealing with people. I don't believe in just being negative thinking towards people. I had to walk in some strong boundaries that I had to set for myself this year, but the people that I had to create those boundaries with, and when I say boundaries, these are my own, because most of the time nobody really knows the boundaries that you set with you. But I'm not, as I said, I'm not overextending myself this year. I'm not fighting as hard as I was to maintain this relationship when, you giving me crumbs. It doesn't hurt to shoot a text. It doesn't hurt to give a phone call, show up to a event once in a while. I'm not saying every single thing, but again, it goes to when I see you supporting others and showing up for others and reposting their posts and supporting others when we've been riding for a long time, and I'm not getting the same that I see you put into others. And hey, I have to realize that I just might not be your person in this season. And guess what? That is okay. That is okay. You have to let people do what they need to do for them. You gotta let people have their possessions. Part of healing is that you can't continue to hold on and build your boundaries off of emotions and feelings. You gotta build them off of wisdom. Because one of my previous videos I mentioned, some people you just can't cut off. Some family members you just can't cut off. They're gonna be there for the rest of your life as long as you have breath in your body. But you can learn how to distance yourself. You can learn how to love from a long-handed, spoon. I see the post where it says family, friends, whatever, especially family, you can cut them off, you can cut them off. No, you can't. God is love, and love covers a multitude of sins. You'll hear me say that a lot. So if, what's in your heart, God will judge, what's in your heart. And when you are cutting off these people and you're saying that, I don't need them or I don't need this, is that really coming from a good place? Disciplining yourself is, hey, we can text once in a while. I can check on you once in a while, but again, like I say, will I give you the same access that I may have gave? No, because why? It's boundaries. I have to protect myself. I have to protect my peace. We really, have to change the way we think about the situations and people. And then I also want to touch on this whole, they don't like my stuff on social media and they're not reposting my content or whatever the case may be. And I will be the first to admit that used to drive me so crazy when I didn't see, my close friends or the people who I thought that was riding for me, repost my stuff and like my stuff. But then I would see them, repost, the celebrities or, people they don't know or quotes they don't know. Now, I just gotta be real. You gotta be the first to say, you gotta pay attention to that. You can't internalize it. You can't make it a anger factor, or you can't make it a factor that they're jealous or they're hating on you. Even if they are, you can't make that a factor in your life because we sow seeds. Every thought that we think is a seed. So we make those factors, we make that probability into a factor in our life. We're saying that this is what it is. We're saying that that person is jealous. And who is that really hurting? It's really hurting you because, again, that's the perception that you have made up in your mind. And you really, really, really don't even know if that is the case. So, it took me a minute to grasp this concept. It took me a minute to begin to, heal in this area. Because the thing with that, we all have to remember is that what God has for you, it is for you. And whether they are liking your post, reposting it, or doing whatever, listen, if you're going up, you're going up. There's nothing that no one can do about it. Because guess what? It's 1 billion people in the world. And those that billion, they just haven't found you yet. They just haven't stumbled across you yet. And it's okay. Listen, going into 2026, you got to let people be them. You got to let people do what they need to do. Action speaks values. We're not matching energy in 2026. When I tell you, I am moving in the most soft, peaceful place in my life, the most unbothered, dangerous. And it can be a little dangerous because once you really start to let things go and let people be, just let people be who they are, it has nothing to do with you. Because I control what I think about. I control what I give access to. I control how I show up. I control how I internalize. So listen, let stuff go. If you had friends in your life for years, just let the stuff go. If they done a lot of hurtful things that you just can't forgive, then maybe you do have to remove yourself. But remove yourself with love, just don't be harboring up a whole bunch of just foolishness and animosity. As long as I always say your intentions is pure, you're genuine, you're being true to yourself. Don't be hanging around people who really don't like you. Don't be having people in your space that you know for a fact that they really not rooting for you. You have to be wise in this season and how you move and how you grow. I'm going to love everybody. I have, I have had, people tell me, you're too forgiving, you're too nice, you're too... Listen, I'm just wired this way, and for a long time, it bothered me because I wish I could be that person that can just, cut you off just like that. Now, I can cut you off, but it was a great deal of me tolerating a lot. This season, though, I will have to say is that as I'm getting old, I just don't have time for inconsistency. I don't have time for games. I don't have time to be ignoring red flags. About 2 weeks ago, I encountered some craziness from someone who I was getting ready to go down a path on my journey with, and they just straight up treated me really weird. This weirdness came out of nowhere. And then what I find is that people who know your personality and know you, they expect for you to still be that nice person. I'm that nice person, but that access you won't ever have from me again. I'ma hug you. Hey, girl, how you doing? I'ma smile. I'm gonna wish you the best. I'm gonna even pray for you. But I know that you're not good for me in this season of my life. And that's how you have to move. It's no need for hatred. It's no need for anger. Get out of your head. Get out of making all, again, I used to be in my head so much, and I've talked about this before. You get in your head and you make up all these assumptions and all these made up, story about how people feel and how they think about you. And guess what? Half of the time, people ain't even thinking about you. As I am going into 2026, what I have realized, nobody really cares that much but me. And now that I have truly understand that, I'm going to move first with love. I'm going to move accordingly. I'm going to show up as my best self. I have not arrived yet. I still have ways to go working through this healing journey. I just experienced a trigger last week from a co-worker that I know that I still need to deal with. And I'm going to just be real and talk about it. we grown, but we may still have triggers. We have some of us. I ain't gonna say all, but some of us who grew up in these foundations where our emotional needs wasn't met, and we wasn't taught how to have healthy conflict resolution, and all those things. What I'm trying to say is that as a grown adult, you have to work through those things. And so I didn't put it on her. That's what's going on inside of me. That's something that I have to work on with me. Because your healing is not other people's responsibility, it's your responsibility. Now, I've had the conversation. If she continues to do what I told her that I don't like, cut off access. Because if you're going to keep doing the things to me that I know that I told you that hurt me, that's a red flag. I'ma still love you. Hey girl, good morning, how you doing? Hey, just gotta move different. You gotta handle yourself with care. You have to love yourself. Loving yourself is that you're not gonna just tolerate any and everything, even how you think. You have to take care of your heart and your mindset. You gotta get all of that unhealthy thinking about everything and everybody out of your soul as much as you can. I wish I could just drop this through the screen for whoever's watching this wisdom that I have learned and that I am walking in every day of my life. Your healing is no one else's responsibility but your own. Your triggers is no one else's responsibility but your own. And so with that being said, take everything that I said in this video, even if it's just one sentence, take that seed, apply it to your life, water it, season it. You can't season the seed, because when that seed blossoms, just suppose you plant a seed of, let's say, what's my favorite vegetable? Kale greens. That was a seed that was planted, right? It blossoms, what we do, we season it up, right? Yeah, catch it. Y'all have a great rest of the year, and always thank you for watching this episode of Season Talk. I'll see you in the new year. Have a good one.